What exactly is going on, gang? So apparently, Transformers Dark of the Moon had its 10-year anniversary this week, once again reinforcing the absolute falsehood that is the concept of linear time. So in celebration of that film's milestone, let us take a gander at one of its supporting stars staking a startling presentation of plastic perfection. It's Studio Series 71 Dino. Now, this is the first time on the channel we're sneaking a peek at one of the Bayverse boys, which I've had no hesitation of facing, but I've been paradoxically a bit reluctant to address publicly on the internet, because it kind of seems to me like every time someone on the internet mentions the Michael Bay Transformers movies, it usually devolves into an unfunny stand-up routine about how they're bad. Because in this day and age, if you want to trick a YouTube audience into thinking you're smart and or funny, it seems all you have to do is talk about how a successful popular film actually sucks. Wow, targeting the Michael Bay Transformers movies. Real subversive there. Branching out, aren't we? But the thing about the Bay films, especially the first three, is that even though they are kind of thoroughly strange, action-heavy anomalies, they were such an integral part of my discovery of Transformers as a young child that they're just always going to be special to me. And it seems like I'm far from the only one who feels that way. I mean, the Studio Series toy line has been pretty successful. Plus, it's a part of the brand that a lot of people genuinely have a lot of love for, so this channel's always going to be open-minded to the Bayverse spots. Now, Dark of the Moon introduced a rambunctious roster of fresh-faced robots, amongst whom, obviously, was Dino. Occasionally showing up here and there, fighting in the background. I guess he got that pretty awesome moment on the highway, though. That's something. Oh, also, his cardboard head on a stick prop was accidentally left on the movie in one shot. Ha! Now, this is actually a really big step up for Dino here, getting his very own mass-released figure. I mean, when the movie released, all he got was a half-hearted Legion-class repaint released under the Transformers Prime toy line, and they gave him the wrong name! How many times can you disrespect the same person? But yeah, there's never actually been a serious attempt at depicting Dino's design in plastic. That is, until now. So let's see if it was worth the 10-year wait. First off, I'm really amazed at how close this toy is to the on-screen character. I know that might seem a bit obvious, like of course they'd make the toy look like the thing it's a toy of, but I feel like Hasbro and Takara have really been hitting their stride with the Movieverse toys in the past few years. The particular color red used for this figure is so vibrant and eye-catching. It's just an all-around radiant-looking beautiful bot. I'm also amazed with how effectively much of the car parts tuck away in the back here. Some may think of that as a bit shell-formery, and maybe it is, but it's very solid, unobtrusive, and easy to ignore. I get this is pretty common for the Studio Series figures to have much of their car parts hide in the back since there's only so much you can do for the sake of movie accuracy. But this is actually a really smart solution here, and Dino gets away with it better than a lot of other attempts, trust me. Plus, it helps the rest of the robot mode look as movie accurate as possible, and the result is G-O-O-D. It's interesting how he's got dummy headlights on his chest right next to his actual headlights, but it's all good. It's screen accurate enough, we're vibing. Really digging the exuberant, swirly, sticky-uppy things on his neck, and that head sculpt just looks superb. It's so detailed and works wonderfully with that movie aesthetic, which might not be for everyone, but I personally think the Studio Series head sculpts are oftentimes just perfect works of art. He includes these two blade-looking things, like the ones he had in the movie, which can attach behind his arms like so, a bit like Batman's gloves. This particular customer is rocking some fairly standard posing potential with a few caveats. Like, he's got no waist rotation or ankle tilt, however, he is packing some double-jointed elbows. So, as is obvious at this point, being a movie figure and all, he's clearly very stylistically different from some of the other bots we covered on the channel thus far, with less blocky proportions and appearing more unearthly and alien, which I accept about the Bay designs at this point. I like how his feet kind of make him look like he's standing on crabs. But yes indeed, when it comes down to it, Dino is a dashing and delicious deluxe Dark of the Moon dude. The transformation is very logical and clever. I sometimes have difficulty remembering what order it goes in, but it's still very satisfying. Also, I find it's easier going back into robot mode. Dino transforms into this car that, I'll tell you what, definitely isn't a Ferrari. Nope, no problem here, officer. So apparently the story goes that the filmmakers wanted a Transformer to turn into a Ferrari in the movie, but Ferrari was only going to allow it under certain conditions. They had to hire an actual Italian actor to voice the character, which is understandable. And they also had to name the character after Dino Ferrari, which is kind of a strange request. But the filmmakers obliged, and after doing all that, Ferrari wouldn't let them make toys representing their cars. I really don't know why Hasbro were willing to go through so much hoop jumping for a car they knew they couldn't make a toy of, but that's probably why we haven't gotten a proper official Dino toy until now. So this particular figure is basically a generic car that kind of, sort of, maybe in theory looks a teeny bit like a Ferrari, if you squint. And yeah, legal stuff aside, this is a really good looking alt mode. The plastic feels really nice, and it's so smooth and feels great in hand. I can't help but marvel at the intricate silver paint applied to the tires. This is truly the type of car that likes to show off, which I guess can be said for most of the movie car bots. They got a lot of sponsorship ground to cover, but it looks good is what I'm trying to get at here. Studio Series Dino is really one of the best Studio Series Deluxe car bots out there, and it exemplifies the very best of the Movieverse toys to me. It's got an attractive, alien-looking robot mode, a sleek, somewhat realistic-looking car mode, and an intricate transformation that links the two while managing to be fun, thoughtful, but not in a way that's pure frustration. Look, I know I have pretty positive opinions with most of the figures I review, but hey, I like talking about good toys, I don't know what you want from me. And this figure absolutely does a great job at representing Dino in your DOTM display if that's what you want, which, frankly, I don't know why you wouldn't. And, that's all I had. Please stay hydrated.